both of my kids have always just said what they were going to do, and they just go out and do it.
And do it, Marion Robinson's children certainly have. Her daughter is now the First Lady, while her son is what you could call First Coach. Jim Axelrod takes us courtside.
It's game day for the Oregon State University men's basketball team. And the ear-splitting, roof-raising crowd is their biggest in years. The Beavers are taking on the University of Oregon, an interstate rivalry so fierce they call it the Civil War. It's a crucial test for OSU's new head coach, Craig Robinson, brought in to turn around a once-proud program that's hit the skids. Last year, Oregon State finished in last place in its conference.
What are you aiming to achieve here at Oregon State?
Well, I like to say I'm aiming for perfection on the court.
Perfection after a last-place finish? You'll have to excuse Craig Robinson if he dreams big.
Please join me in welcoming my little sister and our nation's next First Lady, Michelle Obama.
You see, as Michelle Obama's older brother, he understands better than most the audacity of hope.
Can you tell me what it's like to stand on that inauguration platform and look at 1.5 million, 2 million, 3 million people?
I'm still trying to wrap my arms around it. I really am. It's my little sister. You know, this is the little girl who, when I got a new bike, she came wheeling up in her tricycle. You know, I mean, I still can't fathom that my sister's the First Lady and my brother-in-law is the President of the United States. Can't.
Both their lives have taken turns they never could have imagined growing up in this home in an all-black, working-class neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. 2 years older than his sister, Craig and Michelle have always been very close.
And at 6'6", I've often felt like Craig was looking down on me too, literally. But the truth is, both when we were kids and today, Craig wasn't looking down on me. He was watching over me.
Their father, Frazier Robinson, died in 1991. He was a pump operator for the city water department. Their mother, Marion, was a secretary. Today, she's living in the White House, where she sat down for a rare interview.
People look at what you and your husband did. You produce a Division I college head coach, and oh, by the way, the First Lady of the United States. And they want to know, what kind of magic dust were you sprinkling in your home?
I don't think it was magic dust. As a matter of fact, I believe there were lots of families who did exactly the same thing. But that was just the norm. You raise your children to stress education.
It wasn't magic dust. There was love, discipline, there was respect. My mom and dad always gave my sister and I a sense of who we were.
We wanted them to have the feeling they could try anything. The saying was, if it can be done, you can do it.
Was that sort of the motto of the house?
Yep. If it can be done, you can do it. It's a matter of choice.
They weren't poor, but money was tight. A high school basketball star, Craig Robinson had a choice for college: a full scholarship to play for the University of Washington, or Princeton, which didn't give athletic scholarships. Craig chose Washington.
And my dad did that thing that dads do when you make a decision that's not what he thought you should make. So he went like this. And he put his chin down like this, and he just thought for a minute, and he said, well, why'd you pick the University of Washington? And I said, well, it's free. And he said, well, listen, if you pick your school based on how much I have to pay, I'd be very disappointed. And the next day I said, well, you know, I really did like Princeton, and it would be great to be able to go to an academic institution like that if we can handle it. And that right there changed my whole life.
Twice the Ivy League Player of the Year at Princeton, Robinson played a couple of years overseas after graduation and then started a career in finance. Soon he was making a high six-figure salary, but in terms of psychic income, he was broke.
My folks always said that if you take a job based on the pay, ultimately you're not gonna make enough money to put up with the mess.
So Big Brother took some advice from his little sister.
When I wasn't happy doing what I was doing, she was the one who encouraged me to go back to my first love, teaching and coaching.
Robinson took nearly a 90% pay cut to become an assistant coach at Northwestern, having learned watching others to follow your heart, not your wallet.
How is Craig Robinson, Frazier Robinson's son?
My husband used to say, a smart man learns from his own mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others, and Craig lives by that. He doesn't do anything that someone else has done that's stupid. And I love it about him.
Said, fellas, good.
Craig Robinson was trusting basketball to help him find the right path. It's sort of a family tradition.
So the way the story goes, Michelle's serious about this guy. She brings him home and asks you to play basketball with him.
Right. My sister, after she had been dating him for a while, found out that he fashioned himself a basketball player. And she said, you got to take this guy out. Having heard my father and me talk about how you can tell a guy's real personality on the basketball court. And she wanted to know what he was like when she wasn't around. So all I could think of was that I'm going to take this guy out to play basketball and he is going to be a complete jerk on the court. And as it turned out, he was not. He was the opposite.
That guy, of course, was her future husband. Craig Robinson gave Barack Obama a playground grilling.
The thing I could tell right away was that he was very team-oriented. High character, high integrity. He passed the ball when he should. He shot when he should. And I tell people all the time, the most impressive thing to me was that he didn't just pass me the ball because he was dating my sister. Wasn't trying to suck up or anything like that. I was able to report back to my sister that it was a good workout.
What worked for his sister worked for him. Basketball led Robinson back where he belongs. And now the hard-nosed scrapper from the south side of Chicago is trying to fix a team he found in total disarray.
How long did it take, once Coach was hired, for you to realize change was coming?
When he said we were practicing at 5:30 a.m., we knew he meant business.
You didn't practice at 5:30 in the morning before he got here?
No, never in my life.
All right, fellas, let's have some get up and go.
Tough but cool, demanding but not dramatic. He's also let loose his Ivy League side.
He uses words, very big words during practice, and nobody be knowing what
Sometimes we don't understand what he's saying. So he said, look it up in the dictionary. So his wife brought us a dictionary.
I've got a team full of guys who never have had anybody say to them, go look up a word. And my grandfather used to do that to us. He would use a word. Do you know what that means? And we'd say no. He'd say, go look it up.
There's a dictionary in the locker room?
Yes, yeah, Webster's. It's right on one of the stools. If you need to know, you just go look at it. Very smart man.
And one who's teaching a bunch of kids who lost 21 games in a row last year how to win. Already this season, Oregon State's won twice as many games as last season. On the day we visited, his team came back from 12 points down for a thrilling win against their arch rivals. The Beavers' first victory over the University of Oregon in 3 years.
Congratulations on your first Civil War win.
Yes, the Robinson family is having quite a year. An All-American success story twice over. Maybe there was no magic dust, but clearly something very special was going on inside Frazier and Marion Robinson's Chicago home.
If your husband could look at the life Craig's leading right now, what do you think would be filling him with the most pride?
You would not be able to stand to be in the same room with my husband right now because he thought he had the greatest kids that God ever gave him, anyone.
So he wouldn't be surprised by anything
No,
either of the kids have done?
No, he would not.
He
would not.
Not even First Lady?
Not, well, that would surprise anybody now, come on.